I think we can get started, Chris.
Yeah, thank you so much for it. Yeah. Hey everyone, thank you so much for attending the sessions. And my name is Faz, and I'm a UiPath MVP. And we are delivering this session jointly with the help of Pune chapter, Delhi chapter, and today we have the Mohammed Shabir. He is from the Bangalore. So we already have delivered four session in this series, that is fast track agentic automations. And this is the fifth session of this series, and we have a last session on 31st, that is on the AI trust layer and governance, and more focused on these automation CoE as well in the last session. So thank you once again. And I would like to invite Mohammed Shabir here. So he's the first time speaker in this UiPath community. He will share his journey and how he has started and he's starting contributing in the UiPath community like us. Like you and like us, we have started back in 2022, 2023. So I would love to see like how was this journey with Shabir. So let's start with Shabir. Over to you, Shabir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Faiz, for the introduction. So, hi everyone. Hope you all are doing good. So, as Faiz mentioned, I think this is my first time speaking as a speaker in any of the virtual events. So, lucky to be part of the community which always supports, and also to the peer folks who are always there for our help. So, I think before I get started, I think speaking about the journey, I think I'm associated with the UiPath for last more than 7 to 8 years. I think the journey, what we have seen, the UiPath has grown from a traditional automation, and now we are in the agentic. We are seeing how actually the RPA is traversing into agentic now. So I think today probably we'll even check, we will see how our automation COE is also transitioning into the COE, and how the RPA is opening up the new, what do you say, how RPA is now opening the new space for the agentic. So it is something not the end of RPA. We'll see how it is evolving together. Okay. So I think so. I think as Faiz mentioned, I think I'm fortunate enough that I think this year I'm selected as the UiPath MVP for my contribution for the community. So you can find me active on the forum and also in the physical meetups. So to speak up on my certifications, I think I've done UiPath Solution Architect, the Developer Associate, and all. I'm currently working as a project lead in Novigo Solutions, where I'm working with international clients like Saudi Aramco and Etihad Airways as a solution lead. Okay. So I think without having any further delays, I think next now we'll see. I think let me just give a second. Okay, so I think this will be our agenda for the today. So basically, we'll see what is an agentic automation CoE. We'll try to compare what are the how RPA and agentic automations are different, and how are the roles and responsibilities getting traversed. And also we'll see how the agentic CEO is getting evolved. I mean, the agentic automation society, the CEO in the companies, how it is getting evolved. And we'll see a live demo on how to practically use Automation Hub, how will we submit the ideas, and how will we take it forward. Okay. So I think any questions in between, anyone you have, you can feel free to put it in the chat window, or you can unmute yourself and speak. So I think if we have good time, I think we'll cover it then and there. Else we'll try to take the questions during the end of the session. Okay, so I think let's get started. So I think before we actually start, what is this agentic automation? I think we all are aware what RPA is. So as you all know, RPA, you can think this is often a rule-based automation. So you have a set of instructions which has to be done after each one and then sequential. That's the RPA. So when we are giving a brain, for example, if you think of any automation which you have already developed the RPA method, you see, take a SAP process as an example. You tell the bot, you need to enter the T code, you need to extract this layout, then you do this, then you add this, and then this. If in between anything goes wrong, I think that's an exception, right? So and all these exceptions are not really handled when we get a new pop-up or something. But in the agentic, we are giving the brain to the system to tell it will think first, then it will apply some principles, and then it will take the decision on its own also. So I think that's the major difference when you see the RPA and the agent. So if I tell again, based on the scenario, the agent will be equipped enough to take a decision as to how to proceed. So some basic difference between the normal robot and the agentic. So now coming to the agentic, now when you think of the agentic CEO, we see here we will learn basically here in the CEO we'll set up we'll define the strategy on where we'll use traditional automation and where we'll use the agentic AI agents. And I think this we can apply to each and every department based on our needs. Like we can go it for the HR department, we can go to the finance, we can go to the procurement. I think almost all the departments we can decide where we can take. And here in the agentic CEO, we can also define at what stages and at what place the AI has to take a decision or the boundary. We can set the boundary. We can even set the risk. We can even get we can even have the auditability where as to what and what has been done and everything we can do that. Also in the agentic CEO, we will define a practice. We will train the teams. We'll standardize what are the standard practices similar to the RPA, like how we used to have the standard practices. I think same we can have the standard practices here and we can scale it across all the departments. Then I think then I think UiPath is also helping us here majorly in the agentic automation. Like we have we have autopilot, which will help us in doing the things. We have agents, we have conversational agents, we have AI center where we can monitor and we can do all these things. Okay, so in general, if you see or agentic automation CEO, it is similar to the RPA CEO where we are validating something on the rules and then we are deciding and uh, how do we proceed. So it can be think this is think this of an something like an agent which evaluate your scenario, then it can call an API and then decide the route dynamically. So based on the situation it will decide the route automatically. Okay. So yeah, basically, I think this we discussed. So rule-based is nothing but RPA, and now we have all the agents, we have contacts, we have context grounding, we have human in loop in the picture, and now you can tell that our RPA is more mature. It will not just execute now; it will think, it will adapt based on the situation, and then we can have a collaboration between the human and the bots. And this is the thing. Okay. Since we are now since we are speaking that how agentic automation is evolving day by day, so I think we get a question: what about the RPA jobs now? Say our RPA now there is no traditional automation. So I think this agentic CEO is now giving us it has opened a new paradigm for us now. See now it is again we have a lot of roles and responsibility when it comes to the agents. So there will be someone who will have a prompt engineer. So we will have a new role defined as a prompt engineer. So he is a person I think here we can design how our prompt should be so that I think if you have observed, whenever you give an input to a LLM model, you give the same input first time, you get a different response. You give the same input, change a little, I think you get a different response. So I think here is the place where we'll have to work on our prompts. So again, that comes with the prompt engineering. So it is opening a whole new domain where it will help us to design the prompt, it will help us to evaluate the performance, and we can come out of the hallucinations. Same thing, I think you can see now. I think it will open up broader roles. We have AI evaluator, we have an LLM engineer who will see all this, and again it will all open up. On top of it, we can have designers, we can have governance lead, we can have ops managers and all. So I think this is again opening a lot of new opportunities where we can transition ourselves and be ready for the new world. Okay, so these are the things. So if now I think now we can see how, sorry. So now if you see the RPA versus agentic responsibilities, here it will give you a broader picture. Now, if you think of the business analyst, here's the person who will define the workflows which are happening step by step. So here the process. But in the agentic, when you see, we can see how the agent we can design, we can define at what goals, at what scenario, and what should be the outcome. So here the business analysis shaping his role, where previously you used to just grab the manual step by step what has to happen. But here in the agentic, here business analyst is the person who can define what are your end goals, what will be the scenarios, and what constraints, what should happen. I think the agent here will plan all the steps. Now, coming to the process owner, now I think if you pick up the traditional RPA system, the process owners are the ones who used to define the standard of procedure, right? So as these are the things and only this to happen. For this cannot happen. And defining the standard operating procedures. But when you come on now here in the same place, the agents, now agents are the ones, despite whatever be the scenario or whatever be the variation what is happening, agents, we are giving them, we are training the agent so well that if this scenario comes, we'll tell him for this variation you need to do this, for this variation you do this, and this is where the process owners responsibilities or the SOPs are transitioned into the agentic. Okay. Now, same way, if you go ahead with the solution architect, you can go with it. You can developer. So here, the solution architect and the developer now will play the role of planning it dynamically and collaborating it with the business inputs and this thing. So here we will set up the developer can set up the guardrails, then the developer can use the context grounding, and based on the reasoning, the decision can be taken. So same way goes with all the other roles. I think opening the broad perspective, the product owner, the IT team, the risk handling, and supporting where now if for example if you take an example of an exception, now we can loop an exception to a human in loop using the agent. We can submit to an agent center. From there, the user can act, and accordingly we can retrain the models, and all those things can now be taken care. And one major thing when we go ahead, I think again we have a good traceability here. We can trace for what reason did agent take this decision, and if so and so, how can we correct it? We can align it with the reasoning, so it will not happen like it is going all on a blind spots. So we will definitely have the transparency. We can trace the agent steps, and same way we can align it with the reasoning. And one more thing, okay, I think since we are speaking about the business processes, business taking the inputs, and if you can see, I think the agents are what you can command the agent in the normal language as you're speaking. So basically, in your natural language, you can provide the instructions for the business user, for the business outcome SME. I think it has made his life easier now because the agent can go ahead directly, the business user, type in a prompt in the agentic, and we have the corresponding inputs. I think we'll discuss if you can think of an HR department, we have an agent there. The person or the end user can query his query. You can ask him to give you a payslip, and he'll give you the payslip. Download that. In the backend, the bot can call the API, give you the particular payslip or whatever you're requesting document, and you can have it. So I think basically you can collaborate with the bot in the natural language, and you can, as per your need, you can get the outputs. So instead of just instruction, now we can have a good collaboration. Okay, I think now let's go ahead and see how can we use the automation hub in the COE. Second. Okay, so before I go ahead with the automation hub demo, I think most of you are should be aware what is an automation hub. So if you're not aware, let me just tell. This automation hub is a UiPath. It is a part of the UiPath component where the where we are tracking the automation journey from the initial stage to the go live stage. Okay, so you can think this as a component where the user can submit the ideas, and from there how we are picking the idea, how it is getting finalized, and then how it is getting accepted in the CO and go on. So I think to get started with the automation hub, I think this is the URL. You can go, you can just search the automation hub and you will get it. So this is on the enterprise version. So if you are using any community version, you can go to this URL and you can get it. Basically here, once you get it enabled, it will be available here. So if you don't see it to be available, you can go to the admin window and you can get it added from the services. Okay. So this is how let me just refresh the automation. Okay. So I think your automation hub will look something like this. Okay. So here in general, right, to get started with, see, you can see major 4 tabs. Okay. One is the workspace, one is the explore, dashboard, and the admin. Okay. So based on the users criteria, for example, if you want this access to be given only to a business user, we can give them only the workspace and the explore tab option. And dashboard and the admin will be always with the automation hub admin. Okay. So here you can see these 4 tabs, and here you can see the general ideas and all these ideas. So we will see, in general, if you assume an automation hub, right, in the CEO, anyone from the CEO can submit their ideas which they feel which can be automated or which has to be picked up for the automation. So anyone from the CEO who has the access can submit their ideas which they feel from their department the process should be automated. Okay. So we can decide on the access and give them the access. So anyone in the CEO can submit the idea. The first thing we will see, how do we submit an idea, and then we'll go ahead to see how are the different stages, how are we using the automation hub to streamline our journey and to store everything from the initial state to the last stage, and we will see that. Okay. So to get started with, what we'll do is we'll see how do we submit an idea in the real time in the automation COE. So to get started, you can see this bulb icon, the submit idea. So this is the first step. If you want to submit any idea in the automation hub, you have to click this. Okay. So we'll go ahead and click this. So yeah, now you can see we have clicked this. Now it is asking you're from which business department. So we can decide from which business department we are, which we are trying to automate. So let me go ahead and select the finance department. See, once I select the finance department, it is asking me which category do you belong to. So here we can decide based on our thing, what do we want to select. So just to be saying, I'll select this accounts payable to invoice to payment. This is the category of the business area. So, and then we can select the sub business idea also. So we'll go ahead and select something called invoice processing or matching of invoices. So we'll select this. See, after this, it is asking you what is the idea type. So basically, whether this is an idea for all the employees or this is an idea for the center of excellence, or you want to select this for a citizen development project or a change request when we are planning to something. So I think we can select as you read, you can select any one of them. Okay. So I'm selecting the CEO driven area. So that it will be useful for the CEO. So you click on next. Now it is going to ask you what is the name of your automation. So you can tell this is any automation. We just put procure to payment automation. So you can select. So you can tell what is the automation ID if you're given that. So as of now, I'll just give a random ID here. What we can give. We can also give the description of the process. You could tell. So I'll just give it one liner. So we'll just give this. So you can put all the pain points. You can tell why do you want to automate, what could be the negative impact and all. You can give all these fields in when you're submitting your idea. And you have an option. The primary reason why do you want to automate? You can decide. You're basically you're submitting idea to a business owner who will approve your automation whether you need to take it forward or not. So you can tell him whether you want, why are you automating, because there is a lot of cost, there are a lot of resources involved in it, and I want it to be more efficient, or I want the quality to be more, and I want the productivity to be faster. Based on your reason, you can select the automations and you can provide a relevant comment here. Because using these comments, that is when the user or the person who will decide he needs to take this process or not, it will be useful for him. And same lags, then you're telling whether you're expecting any changes in the process. So you can fill all these details here. So if there are some changes accepted or there is no change, so it will give the business SME the idea whether they want to pick it or not. And based on the ROI, something like that. Okay. So again, it will ask you how many average working days, how many days it's working the profile. So I'll just give 250 as of now here. So what is the working hours? Let me give 6. So what is the cost? So it is something like the ROI analysis. Okay. So what is the employee cost? Let me just give 1,200. Then it's asking you the frequency of the process. Let me just give daily. You can select daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, so that it will be helpful in deciding the ROE later. Okay. So what is the average? How are you calculating the average? It is on the company level or on the employee level. So if it is on the employee level, you tell him how many employees are performing the task, and so. So what is the time taken in minutes? You can, let me just put a random number called 20 minutes. So you can see how the results are getting populated here. So, and then it'll ask you the error rate. You can give them the percentage of the, so if there are many exceptions or not, or it's a straightforward and this thing. So what if, even after bot does, if you're taking any of the reword, you can give him something and you can give the details. So same way you will be populating all this data. So one more important, when you're using digital and all, you have to make sure whether your data is digital or it is scanned. You can give it so that it will also play a long role. Sometimes we have it, so we can give it. You can all you then it'll ask you whether if you're using any of the applications like SAP or if you're using orchestrator. So you select the orchestrator, and then you can submit the ideas. And here you can decide who is the process owner who will be filling it. Okay. So I'll go ahead and submit this idea and then we'll see how do we proceed. It's asking me if I missed some of the mandatory fields. Let me just fill that. Let me just fill it so that we can proceed. It's now, hopefully it should not ask me now. 1 second. Okay, I think this failed about it. Okay. So what is the average work to be audited? Let me just give 20%. This is 10 minutes. And now this is one important. So if they're asking us if there are any regular peaks during the process, so let me just select something. Okay, now let me try submitting it. Okay. See, now I'm trying to submit the idea. It is asking whether you want to submit your idea for review. So let me just go ahead and submit this. Okay. So you can see now, once I submit the idea, here on the left side, there's a tab called My Submission Ideas. So in this tab, whatever you have submitted, no, that will be available to you. Assume I am the employee in a COE. Whatever you submit, this will be visible to me, and I can see my status here. What I've submitted it, but it is not still reviewed. Okay. So you can track your status here. Now this is, I think if you see, this is the first stage now. Now we'll go ahead and we'll see how do we transition from here. Load. Here is the place. Now assume this person, the approver is me. I think for this, everything approver is me only. So in real time, this will go to the project manager or the person who is going to take the decision. See, now here I can see whether I can send this idea to the next stage, or I can transition, or I can archive it. So I can decide what I can do here. So I want to move it to the in progress stage, or I can archive this. So the user, the process owner will have the full control whether he wants to take this idea forward and take it forward or not. So let me just do this now. Let me take it to the in progress state. So here, I think, see, when I'm approving it right now, 1 second, let me just go back to the main page and show you again the different status here. See, now you can see from the first stage, now it is gone to the assessment stage, okay? So from the assessment, now from this assessment, we will see the ROI calculation. I mean, we can see the what are the benefit analysis. Everything will get it in the form of graphs, okay? You can the person now the next assume it is as a person from the development from the team who will approve the automation because they'll be spending it on it, right? Whether we are getting real-time benefits from it, whether it is useful for the organization, how if approved, again, how much of cost are we investing on it? What is the returns after the year, and all these things we can calculate here. So you can see here the history also. Yeah. So now it is in progress. Now once this is in this stage, once it's moved from the assessment stage, the next stage will go to the qualification stage. Okay, here I'll show you. Here I'll show you now. So in this way, we can go from one stage to another stage. We're tracking. Now you see, initially it was assessment. Now the next person is the one we will qualify. Now if I am the owner, I'll select the qualification and I can tell him whether I'm qualifying it from the stage or not, whether I'll approve or not. Now you can see, based on this decision, I'll update it. So once I qualify it, that is when it is moving it from the first stage. You can see, right? Now we have gone to the approval stage. So in the same way, as it progresses, we can track each and everything here based on the live date. So from the assessment, we go to the qualification, then we go to the analysis. Analysis, basically your FRD stage, the business analysis. We create the FRD here. Then solution design, again the next stage. We have solution architect who will design us the solution. Then the initial development will start, then testing will happen, then we'll have technical reviews, and after that we go live. So here we can track each and everything. Now we will see, I think now next you see, we go to analysis, then we select, we can have all the statuses here. Whether we are starting it, we are tracking it, each and everything we can track it. Like how we track using the other methods like Jira and all, we can track it here. Again, for the solution design, it started or not started, then it is delayed. We keep updating here based on the user and we track it. Then you go ahead for the development. Development also same thing. We'll tell the started, delayed, rest, archived. We'll have the entire flexibility to update our status as the projects progress. Then after development, as I told, again, we'll have testing. We can have the testing stage here, and we can tell when we are starting, we can monitor when it was started, when it got hold, if it's successful, or if we are canceling or delaying it, everything based on the stage wise, we can. Based on the stage, we can manage it. We can store the statuses, basically. We are maintaining a dashboard here. Same way we can do for all of these things. Okay. One good thing about this is here, we'll have the entire. We can have the entire thing as to what. So if you see one of the thing is in production, show you this. So if you come out to the main page, right, here we can have the entire information like when was the idea submitted, whether it was what data, then we can have all our KPIs here also. How much is the something like the interactive dashboard, whether what was the thing, everything you have on a high level here. The idea score, the readiness score, the suitability. We can also have the KPIs listed here as to assessment KPIs. You can see here, right? So the automation potential, why did it pick up this? How many hours it is saving for the company on the year level, on the currency level. Also, how much of employee hours it is saving in a year. So in same thing, whatever the input data was inputted in the initial, right? We have everything here. You can see everything. The process metrics, the average working days per year, and we can have everything in one place. You can see, right? Whatever the data we put, 5%, 20 minutes. So you have everything in one go here. The applications, the expected benefits, everything you can have here. And you can even the process manager or the higher levels leads can update the status here accordingly. And we have everything here. Under one roof, it's something like under one roof, you're managing everything. So it's something like you're managing the system, the process wise. You can have everything here. You can see how beautifully it is giving you the benefits, the potential ease of application and everything. With the plans, how did it take? How much did the analysis take? You can see here, right? The analysis took 8 days, then the solution day took 3 days. Everything is getting tracked here. As you update the status. And when any issue comes, everything you can handle it here with the benefit analysis. Also, you can also have your documentations here with the PDDs, we can SDDs, also the input expected files, the test documents, everything you can have it in one go. So it is something like your one-to-go solution here for managing all the information. One more good basic very good thing about here is we can also here shortlist all the components which we are reusing over the organization so that anyone can go ahead and reuse it and also put their data available here so that it is more flexible over the organization. So here again, I think here again you can the process owner can decide who can who can access what stage of the information, and all the access management things can be done. It will give you the extra. And when as soon and as and as you process, you get any change requests, you can even track these change requests here. And if there are any changes, you can manage all these things. So in this way, you can use Automation Hub to the fullest on these things. You also for usability, I think there are many more templates available based on the categories, based on the different departments. Some ready-made template even you can give it a try and use it. Okay. So if I go ahead and see you again on the planning report, let me just show you this also, I think. So showing you this, right? So in general, you can access all of them and manage as to how your automation will progress, starting from the initial stage of submitting the idea, getting it approved, then getting it finalized, then starting the development stages, managing all the development, testing, go live, then making it live. So all under one roof, you can get it managed and getting it stored only one place. So I think this is how you can use the automation hub in general. You can get started on this. If you have any questions related to the automation hub, right? I think you can go ahead and we can discuss. And I think today we are just covering the basics of the automation CoE of the agentic automation CoE. I think in the next session, Faiz will also go deep dive on that, and we'll have more details on this. I think if you have any questions now, I think we can go ahead and take.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shabir. So you can come to the slides first. So there we can explain about the chapters. And in the meantime, people can drop your question in the chat, or maybe you can unmute yourself and start questioning with Shabir if you have anything. So go to the last slide, yeah, last two slides. Yeah, this one. And if anyone want to be the part of this chapter, Pune chapter, Delhi chapter, we will also share the Bangalore chapter as well. There you can directly connect with Shabir. I already have dropped his LinkedIn profile on the chat, so feel free to connect with me, Ashok, and Shabir. These guys are leading this six sessions of this series, and we have many more coming in the pipeline, which Shabir is planning to deliver on the most advanced topic of the UiPath offerings. Yeah, thank you so much once again. So start your conversation with Shabir if you have any questions. Yeah. So I can see one question, Shabir, in the chat. So feel free to go and check it in the chat section, please. Maybe I can repeat the question here.
Yeah.
So one of the question from Fiejo, if I'm spelling well, will this continue to evaluate the users that are actually executing this idea after implementation? I think it was
It was already
answered.
answered. Yeah, when I wrote it, it was still. I think you were just talking about it. So thank you. I'm clarified.
Thank you very much. And if you don't have any questions so far, so feel free to reach out to Shabbir anytime on his LinkedIn profile. You can connect with him regarding this automation COE, or maybe you can text me as well. And you feel free to connect for this automation hub. He's a good expertise on it. So yeah, feel free to connect with him anytime. And this is the WhatsApp group. And this is only for the Indian community members. So we are running this WhatsApp group, Pune chapter, Delhi chapter. So feel free to join this group. We are sharing the most latest and greatest updates over these WhatsApp channels. If you are from other countries, so feel free to join it if you want to get updated. So we have the community channel, community LinkedIn channel, forums, and many others. Medium so you can be the part of this UiPath community. If you are new to this community, you want to be a speaker, so feel free to connect with me or Shabbir and Ashok. We will schedule your sessions and you can share your topics. We will help you out on this PPT and all so that you can also come with and sharing your knowledge with the entire community. So I think one of the questions from Barun Panda. So feel free to unmute yourself and ask.
Varun, I think you can unmute and speak.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Faiz. And so, hi, good afternoon, Savir and all. So, my question is that so whatever demo you have given, it is with only enterprise licensed one, right? If someone wants to go with this hands-on on this details, so is it available with this community license or?
Yes, you can request an enterprise pro trial. You'll get it for
Mhm.
60 days. You can give it a try.
Okay, so it will come through enterprise pro trial,
Yes,
correct?
yes. Come.
Okay,
You can use
okay,
it.
okay. Thank you. That's it. Thank you. Bye.
So if you have your enterprise email ID, your company ID, feel free to go and register with your email ID. And UiPath offer you the 60 days free trial. You can utilize all the capabilities of the enterprise for next 60 days. After that, maybe you have to buy the license or maybe rely on your organization's license only.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Shabir. Thanks for the session, first of all. And I have a question related to the automation hub that you have demonstrated now, right? So
Mhm.
basically, you are saying that all the ideas means if I have a project and I
Mhm.
will be using some Confluence and Jira, Confluence
Yeah.
for storing all the documentation related, the projects about the sprints and the lean business cases. As you said, how many hours are saved and how many sprints the development would be and how many sprint the testing would be. So all these details will be stored in the Confluence and Jira for creating the tickets. So you are saying that using Automation Hub, I can get all those details in a single go, right? Every
See,
details that I have a separate
yeah,
documentation, I can use this.
yes, but you can't expect. I mean, you can't expect the detailed level of the sprints and all here. Okay, I mean, it will just tell you between this stage to this stage what is the time lapse pass. As I told you, right? The first stage which is submit an assessment till it's getting approved. Once it is getting approved and it is going to the next stage where we are doing the process document creation. I think it will give you the time between that stages. Okay, so
Okay.
I mean, sorry to say, but we cannot have that exact detail of the sprints and all similar to the sprint and Confluence. So I think that
Okay.
we sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Yes,
So if sorry, Shakti, we
go
don't have
ahead.
any follow-up questions, so we can wrap it up now. The recording for this session will be available on the same page of this registration of this page. Yeah, so feel free to go and check the recording for the previous session, and this session will be uploaded maybe probably on today and tomorrow. But yeah, it will be available, and you feel free to reach out to us anytime. Text on LinkedIn, so we will try to help you out, and you will try to answer your questions. And like Shabir said, so we have a next sessions in 31st of March. There we will try to cover in depth, that is automation CoE practice, along with the AI trust layer, or how we can guardrail the agent and bring your own LLM. So these are the capability we will try to cover in the next session schedule on the 31st, that is Tuesday, coming Tuesday. So once again, thank you so much, Shabir, and thank you so much all of you for your time to attending these sessions. And yeah, thank you. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Hope we'll meet again next week.
Thank you, Shabir. Sure. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.